Jake Paul sits down with Mike Tyson and Cameron for a face-to-face interview before their fight on November 15th at AT&T Stadium on Netflix. Let's jump into the video.
Gentlemen, how you doing? Good to see you.
Nice to meet you, bro.
Look, to maintain order, we're going to allow you guys 45 seconds to answer my question. The opponent has 45 seconds to respond.
This is like a
You could say whatever you want about Jake Paul, but he's got big balls. He has guts. He has courage. And he does things that 99% of the population will never do. So he's the American dream. Let's get into the video.
presidential debate.
Yeah, tell me about it.
All right,
Yeah.
all right.
When I'm here, it's important.
Hopefully it's not 2v1 like Trump had to deal with.
Nah,
Nah,
man. We good. You guys ready?
Go.
All right, let's get it. We're going to start with you, Mike. Why'd you agree to take this fight with Jake Paul?
I believe this is going to be great for boxing. I believe I'm going to win.
Jake, why'd you agree to take the fight with Mike?
Man, he's a legend, you know. This is the guy. This is one of the two most famous boxers to ever live, him and Muhammad Ali. This is a dream come true for me. I am inspired by Mike, his story, you know, what he's persevered through. And to be able to fight him and to share the ring with such a legend is a special moment for me, and it's historic. And the fact that we did it with Netflix, it's the biggest fight of the century, and that's what I love to do. Make history, have fun, and go to war.
Now that it's on Netflix, I think it will get just as much views and ratings as the Super Bowl. I think this is going to be gigantic.
Well, to add on top of what does it mean for boxing?
Everything, man. You know, this all came from an ayahuasca ceremony. When I saw this happening, I saw the butterfly effect of every kid going into the gym the next day wanting to be like me or Mike. 700 million people watching on Netflix. Wow. And the impact this will have on the sport is unfathomable, and it's untangible, quite frankly.
Okay, Mike, so what does it mean to be fighting Jake Paul? And same question to you, what does this mean for boxing?
To be honest, boxing's never seen nothing like this in the history of boxing. Since it began 250 years ago, it's never seen anything like this, and probably never will.
Well, Mike, let me ask you this. What does it say about Mike Tyson if he knocks out a 27-year-old Jake Paul?
Mike just knocked somebody else out again. You know, this is going to be big. It's just, it's not like it's just some 27-year-old. It's Jake Paul.
Jake, same question to you. What does it mean if you knock out a 58-year-old Mike Tyson?
Yeah, when it happens, it's going to be a little bittersweet because I have love for him. But at the current moment,
I know it's the media's job to ask these kind of questions, and it's to kind of play down the other fighter in a way. They're forced to ask these questions, but every man is dangerous. Even a weak man is dangerous. Even an unskilled man is dangerous, young or old. You never underestimate your opponent in anything. So this whole thing that Mike's too old to fight is just total nonsense. Just like when people say, well, Jake Paul, he's not a real fighter. He's a YouTuber. Oh, really? He just demolished Mike Perry. He demolished Anderson Silva. His one loss to Tommy Fury is, without question, a gift to Tom Fury. A gift. I'm not saying that Jake Paul's not a real boxer, but if Jake Paul goes in like the WBC and he has a loss to Jake Paul, they can't promote him the same way. Boxing is corrupt to their core. It will always be corrupt. And I think they gave Tommy Fury a gift. He didn't win that fight.
meant to go to war. He's trying to take the food off my plate. I'm trying to take the food off of his plate. And that's what warriors do. Right. But for me, I've dreamt this, manifested it, and it'll be the start of, you know, what has been a 12-year career for me in entertainment and acting and working and all the things I've done now into boxing. This is finally my moment and my time to shine. And I'm going to show the world who the fuck I am, because everyone's doubted me. Everyone's had something to say. Nothing was ever given to me. I've had to work for it all. suppressed by everyone, kicked off of YouTube, kicked off of platforms, canceled 5 times, and here I am throwing the biggest event in really all of entertainment, actually. And now it shows to the rest of the world what hard work and perseverance can do. And I'm just happy to be able to show that to other kids who maybe have to go through adversity and have to fight and have to keep on proving themselves time and time again.
So from your answer, what I got is, you said when it does happen.
Yeah.
So you're gonna knock Mike out.
It's already written.
Okay. You heard that shit?
Clearly.
Just making sure. I like that confidence right there.
This is the baddest man on the planet. Heavyweight. Just look at the fucking guy sitting here right now.
Right.
He's an animal. He posts Instagram pictures and I get a little scared because of how good he looks. But I have to step up to this level and show people that I can accomplish the impossible. And that's what the story of Jake Paul is all about.
Now, Mike, a lot of people gonna point to your fight with Kevin McBride and say that that's when your skills basically.
The Kevin McBride fight, Mike needed a hiatus from boxing. He needed to take a long time off, just recharge the battery. I don't even know why people would bring up that fight. He didn't even train for the fight. So it's a kind of a dumb narrative at this point, bringing up a fight from 30 years ago when Mike's mind, body, spirit was out of boxing. He took a hiatus. He realized he loves boxing. He's back to boxing, and he's back to training the way he's supposed to be for a fight. So stop even mentioning that guy.
Dissipated 20 years ago.
My life has changed since then, and I decided to fight Roy Jones, and that was successful, and now they're fighting.
So people shouldn't even bring that shit up no more.
No, they should bring it up.
Okay.
They should see the difference from there to now.
Yeah.
Gotcha. What you
Me at my worst, to me at the biggest.
When you watch Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones, the head movement still, even Roy talks about it, his side-to-side movement, that's the one thing that makes me think that Jake Paul's not going to win this fight. I think Jake Paul's never seen head movement like this. Even with Tommy Fury, a young guy that's on the up and up, doesn't have head movement or defensive skill like Mike Tyson. And this will be the first. All those MMA guys, yeah, they're tough and they can throw punches, but their defense is not an elite boxing defense. This is the first time ever that Jake Paul will face a super skilled, seasoned boxer whose defense is impeccable, and it's a real problem. And that's why I think that Jake is going to lose the fight. I think he's going to come in over-aggressive. Tyson's going to slip, duck, weave, whatever he does. He's going to hit him with a shot. And I think it's going to put Jake away. I think everybody's going to be very, very surprised at Mike Tyson's movement and head movement. And in the Roy Jones fight, they kind of made an agreement that they would go easy on each other because Roy Jones is not a natural heavyweight, where Mike and Jake, they're the same weight. There's no agreements to take it easy. I don't think this is going to go good for Jake, but I'm not taking anything away from him. He is a legitimate fighter, boxer, American dream. He's got balls the size of church bells. And I can't say enough good things about Jake Paul, but this is going to, if he beats Mike, people are going to say, oh, it's just a 58-year-old man. No, it's not. This isn't the average 58-year-old man who could slip and move, still has his timing down, and drop a bomb on your face. This isn't a 58-year-old man. This is a dangerous, dangerous man. Mike Tyson is 1,000 more times dangerous than all those other UFC guys in their prime. Mike Perry, all of them. He's 1,000 more times dangerous than those guys. They don't have the skill set of Mike Tyson at all.
The event in the history of events right now. There's never been any bigger than this. So what they have to say about that?
What you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, that's what critics do. They sit on their couches, they sit in their homes, and they have so many things to say because they're unhappy with their lives themselves. They'll try to rip people apart like me and Mike, who are actually going and fucking doing something.
He had 11 pro fights, 1 amateur fight. How do you rate him?
Hey, listen, he's been successful in all those pro fights except one, and that's why we're fighting.
It's been 4 years in professional boxing. And in terms of what I've done in those 4 years and the amount I've learned is more than any pro boxer. So just in terms of how much I've learned and grown, I'm the fastest growing and learning boxer in the sport. And that's what I rate myself off of. If you calculate how good I got from year 1 to year 4, no one else has made that progress. So really, to me, that's the
I was just talking about this. If you look at Jake Paul's first boxing video, his first lesson, compared to what he is now, he is a legitimate pro boxer to a guy before that looked like he never threw a punch. For anybody to say that he hasn't improved to the level of a pro boxer, you're just a liar. His skill set is a million times better from the day that he first started. It's not even close. I love hearing, so-called trainers that look like they can't even do a push-up or run a quarter of a mile. They'll be like, oh, Jake Paul's trash. The old boxing heads and all the old boxing heads garbage. Jake Paul is a legit fighter, boxer, champion. Mike Tyson is a super dangerous opponent. If Jake Paul beats Mike Tyson, this will be a bigger victory than all the other fighters that Jake Paul has fought. This will be the biggest win of his career, and he did not lose to Tommy Fury. That was a gift. Boxing is corrupt. The WBC has their hands in those organizations have their hands in the judges' pockets all the time. And again, the reason why they did that is because if Tommy Fury starts to take boxing serious and he grabs the reins and they start promoting him, they want him to be undefeated. The only way that Jake would have got that victory against Tommy Fury is if he knocked him out. Anything that went to a decision, no matter what, Jake was going to lose that fight. He should be undefeated right now.
The most important thing to focus on, and I have big plans, and I'm continuing to, again, do the impossible and show people what I'm capable of. And they chalk up what I've done to the fights being rigged. Still, when he posts on his Instagram looking like a killer, hitting the shit out of the mitts, the top 5 comments are, if Jake wins this fight, it's completely rigged. And that used to bother me.
Right.
That used to bother me because I was like, no, I'm working so hard. Can't you fucking people see? But now I take it as a compliment because the human peon brain of the 99% can't even comprehend
Can't even get it.
how good I've gotten and what I'm accomplishing in this world.
They telling me you're talking too long. There's not no Trump shit. They trying to give me the.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I knew
see?
this was gonna happen.
See, don't.
Hey, we got all the time in the world. We can make edits. What's your name? Joe. Shut the fuck up, Joe. Thank you.
Control, do your thing. He over there. Don't harass me no more, Joe, nigga. That wasn't on me. All right, now look, one thing
Yeah,
that
that's funny.
people cannot deny is your activity. This is your 3rd fight this year. You had 3 fights last year, 6 fights in the last 2 years. Where boxers are fighting once every 2 or 3 years. Does that make you better as a boxer, the activity?
Yeah, 100%. And I have to stay active. I have to stay working towards my goal of becoming a world champion. So there needs to be 3 fights a year for me at least. And that's how I get better, is under the bright lights and performing when there's adrenaline and nerves.
Gotcha.
I've always been in the gym training. I'm boxing professional fighters. I'm just, activity is great. I had 15 fights in 1 year when I was younger. And I think activity is great, but I'm prepared. I'm just ready to go.
Now, does a loss to Jake Paul damage your legacy?
I don't look at my life as a legacy. Legacy to me means ego. Who the fuck cares about my legacy? I'm going to be dead soon one day. But he's not going to win.
What do you say about your legacy if you end up beating Mike Tyson, not just beating Mike Tyson, knocking Mike Tyson out?
Obviously, it would be the biggest moment in all of boxing history on Friday night when I put this man to sleep. So that is pretty dope.
He dreams a lot.
A lot of dreaming.
I knew it,
He does
they
a lot
all
of
come
dreaming.
true.
This is not going to come true, young man.
Hey, man, I respect your opinion, but it's just my time. The universe know it, the gods know it, I know it, and you're gonna know it. Plain and simple.
Okay, but next week, we'll see.
We will. That's the beauty of boxing, is the truth comes out, and by golly, do I love the truth.
Are you concerned if Mike hits you flush on the chin, this shit could be fucked up?
Yeah. Yes. Indeed. I have to be alert.
a good way of putting it.
This is a scary, scary man. He's a killer, and has all the power still clearly in all the videos, all the sparring that he's showing, dropping his sparring partners. My mom is messaging. She can't even watch Tyson punch.
Right.
She won't watch it because it scares her. And he has one of the deadliest uppercuts of all time. So, of course, I have to be ready and know that he's going to have some moments in there, and I'm going to have to persevere.
Now, Mike called you a manufactured killer. How you respond to that?
I would say the deadliest weapon in the world is manufactured. That's a nuke.
I like that. I like that. I like that, man.
And I think it's scarier to be a peaceful man, waving Disney Channel wands around, and then to choose to kill.
Now, Mike, look, you criticize Jake's skills. What does that say about you if you lose?
Well, I'm not gonna lose. So I can't even fathom losing. I can't even imagine it. He's not gonna win. I think he thinks this is gonna be a very easy night. It's not gonna be an easy night.
I don't think that. I think it's going to be a war of ages. The fans are the ones who win out of this, but I know you, I know your soul on a deeper level, and I know myself, and I know you're not going to fucking quit, and neither am I. You could rip my head off. I can go down to the canvas. You can fuck me up. I could be bleeding from everywhere, and I'm not going to stop. And I know that's the same for you. That's the beauty of this, is I don't think it's going to be easy. I know it's going to be hard.
You had a great career, but in many ways, this is the biggest event that you ever been a part of. What does this say about this night and this matchup?
First of all, no one else can do this but me.
Okay.
I believe. And, like you said, this is the greatest boxing match in the history of boxing, and it's because I'm a part of it.
Yeah, he's the GOAT. He's the GOAT, man. And this is the do-si-do in Texas, the biggest fight. And I do think a dance requires two people, but that's the magic in this, is that we're, this yin and yang that is creating this massive fucking disruption and storm and massive fight. So, 2024, November 15th, the gods and the universe aligned us to do something magical. And it takes the both of us. But he's had a longer, illustrious career, and I believe by the end of my career, I will reign as the GOAT of this sport.
Now, a lot of people are saying that the Taylor-Serrano fight should be the main event.
Oh, please.
Part one was a fucking amazing battle. What do you have to say?
That's just somebody's putting that out there to mock Jake Paul. You really think that the Serrano fight, the Taylor-Serrano fight, should be the main event, and Jake Paul, Mike Tyson should be the undercard? Give me a break. It's a bunch of garbage. You know why they're saying that? Because they don't like Jake Paul. That's the stupidest statement I've heard about this whole entire fight, that Jake and Mike should be the undercard. Some Democrat came up with that garbage. Enough with the political correctness already. That's total garbage. And they're only saying that because they don't like Jake Paul.
To that?
It is this is, there's two main events. How do you choose which one to put before each other? They're massive. I'm more excited to watch that than I am excited to take his punches. But
Jake, I know you're her manager. Knock it off, please. We know that's not true. The arena and people aren't tuning in to see those two women fight. Everybody on the planet wants to see you and Mike Tyson go at it. And yes, the majority of people want to see you just get knocked out because they don't like you, because you're the American dream and you take chances that the average person is terrified to take. And when I say the American dream, Mike Tyson is also the American dream. Look where he came from in that time period, to rise from the ashes to become the baddest man on the planet and one of the most well-known celebrities. I call him a celebrity. He's a boxer also, obviously, but to one of the most famous people in the world. But in 2024, because of social media and YouTube, Jake Paul is the American dream. It's his time to influence the younger generation that they need to make the most out of their opportunities in life. And that's what Jake Paul does. First he was on YouTube, didn't work out, got banned. First he tried to be a rapper, didn't work out. Then he was trying to do YouTube, didn't work out. Yeah, he made money here and there. Then he went to boxing. He's made almost $100 million in his first 10 fights, and God only knows what he's going to get paid for this. Now, every time he failed, if he didn't keep taking on new challenges, he wouldn't be in the position that he is today. And that's why I call him the American dream. Every young person, old, young, whatever, can learn something from Jake Paul just as much as they can as Mike Tyson. But Mike Tyson, to me, he already had his time. I'm not saying that means he's going to lose the fight. I'm saying that Jake Paul has a chance to be more influential now because he's younger. That's what I mean by the American dream. They're both the American dream.
But yeah, man. I mean, it's massive, and I'm just so excited to see the rematch and for Amanda Serrano to prove all of her doubters wrong.
So who do you think won?
Close.
It was close.
Close. Razor close.
Well, in your opinion, who do you think won?
I'll keep that opinion to myself.
Okay.
My opinion won't mean nothing on November 15th.
And when Amanda Serrano wins, Katie Taylor, I think we do the trilogy at Croke Park. I'll get Donald Trump to come in. He loves doing big fights since Eddie Hearn hasn't been able to get anything done over there. He's too busy trying to be in Katie Taylor's corner for the fight. Can you believe that? I mean,
All right, I'm not going to get into the interview with Taylor and Serrano, the two women fighting, but this fight is huge. Mike Tyson is a super dangerous opponent. His age does not matter. He can still punch. He still has great head movement. Jake Paul is not just a YouTuber and a Disney person. It's not a rigged fight. This fight is for real. This is the most danger that Jake Paul is ever going to be in. And the same for Mike Tyson at this point in his life. This is a real fight. This is going to be one of the biggest fights in boxing history. If you don't like hearing the truth, I don't know what to tell you. Nobody should be bashing Jake Paul for making the most out of the opportunities that he's made for himself. Somebody like Nate Diaz, oh, he's a punk and this and that. Guess what? That punk knocked you out. He knocked out Mike Perry too. Destroyed him. Wasn't even close. UFC fighters in their prime. He destroyed them. Nate, we get it. You're from Stockton. Your zip code, blah, 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 blah. Well, guess what? The Disney kid beat your ass to oblivion. So you need to be quiet. This is the real deal. This is going to be a great fight. Everybody should tune in.